Hello guys, what is going on? It's HFactor66 today bringing you part 2 of my really long story/creepypasta I've been writing, Amy's Dark Side. I've been making a lot of edits to it recently, and I hope you like whatever's left. So without any further ado, let's begin Amy's Dark Side, part 2. If you've not seen part 1, I highly recommend it. May 26th, 2013. 3 days later, after I'd been sleep-deprived and driven insane by her for the last 17 days, I decided to finish what I started. When I went to the spot it landed when I threw it out the window 2.5 weeks ago, it wasn't there. I assumed my parents found it and put it somewhere, but when I asked them where it was, they were clueless. I assumed someone found it and took it, shrugged, and went back up to my room. I didn't want to see that thing again. That thing almost killed me. When I got up to my room, I noticed my charger was plugged in with my iPod plugged in and charging. What in the name of... how did my charger get plugged in, and where did my iPod come from? I didn't place it there, and neither did my parents. I was an only child, so who could it have been? Curiosity won over me again. I turned it on, and I didn't see what I was expecting. On my screen was Amy Rose, with her back turned to me. I couldn't tell what she was doing, or if she still looked like what she looked like 2.5 weeks ago. After about 30 seconds, I said, "Hello." She didn't turn around, but instead said, "Calvin? Is that you?" I replied, "Yes, it's me." As soon as I said that, she turned around and looked happy to see me. I also noticed that she looked, well, normal. Her eyes had returned to their original color, she didn't look disfigured anymore, and her hammer was nowhere in sight. I was still curious about the hammer, though. Her eyes were wide open and she had a huge smile on her face. I could tell she was really happy to see me. "I missed you. These last 2.5 weeks felt like a lifetime. I got so lonely. Say, do you remember what happened 2.5 weeks ago? After whatever happened, I passed out for about a day or two, and I can't find Sonic or anyone else to help explain what happened, so I thought I would ask you. Do you know?" What she asked made me go silent. I knew exactly what had happened, but how in the hell would I explain that to her? There's no way she would believe that, and then where would I be? I didn't know what to do, but I knew I couldn't keep her waiting for too long, and I wasn't about to find out what would happen. This is what I asked her. "Do you know where your hammer is?" She looked confused and said, "No. Why exactly is that relevant? Can you look for it?" She still looked confused. Her response, I guess. I've been wondering where it went, so I might as well take a look around again." After she left, the screen was black for several minutes. After about 6 minutes of waiting, I heard her shriek in horror. I assumed she found it. Seconds later, I heard her running as fast as she could. She rushed to show me. Looks like I was right that time. "Calvin, why does my hammer have bloodstains on it? What's going on? Please tell me." She looked worried. I had no choice but to tell her the truth, but how would I word it? Suddenly it hit me. "You know how Sonic and everyone hasn't been around?" "Yeah. Why? Did something happen?" "Go to Chaos Angel Act 3 and look on the platform." "Alright, Calvin, but what's there?" "Don't ask. You'll see." The screen flashed and changed to the Chaos Angel zone. The game was now playing itself. I watched as Amy made her way to Act 3. After about a minute, she reached the act ring. She went in. Amy appeared alone and hopped down to the moving platform. It didn't move, just like last time. Amy shrieked in horror at what she saw. "What happened to them?" I could tell she was about to cry. I let her. After she was legitimately crying her eyes out, I tried to comfort her. Her response, "Why? What happened to them? Please tell me." She was sobbing uncontrollably. I waited a minute to see if she would calm down a little. She finally did. I finally got the nerve to tell her. I said it plain and simple. This was your doing. That's why your hammer has bloodstains on it. This is what you can't remember, but I didn't want to tell you. I swear you wanted to kill me too, but that's why I threw my iPad out the window after you shouted, "You're next." She looked more shocked than ever. She froze. Is that true? Did I do this? Yes. What have I done? She began crying again. She couldn't hold her tears back any longer. I explained, "You went dark. You turned on yourself. I unleashed your dark side by accident. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry." She was wiping away tears. "You unleashed my dark side? But how?" "You said if I upset you again, I would regret it." "Oh, I did. I sure did." Amy realized what she had done. She was fighting back tears in her eyes now, and she said, "Thank you for everything, Calvin. I haven't reason to live anymore." "No! What about me? What's going to happen in the Sonic Advance series? Why should only I remain? I'm sure you've seen the videos. All the character select screens on 1, 2, and 3 show no character sprites for everyone but me. People are wondering what happened. The Sonic Advance series is dying. I am all that remains. Even the bosses and enemies aren't there." "Wait, what? 1, 2, and 3? I thought she wasn't in the second one? Were you not in the second one?" "Oh, I was, but it took a lot of patience. Few ever unlocked me. Very few people had the patience." Now I was confused and pretty pissed off. "How do I unlock you in the second game? How?" That's one question from my childhood I never got answered, and I better get my fucking answer now. She looked to be taken aback by my anger. Okay, I'll tell you. It's a little known secret. There's only one way to unlock me. In order to play as me in Sonic Advance 2, you must collect all 7 emeralds as all characters, besides me, of course. I finally got that question answered from my childhood. Something still didn't make sense, though. Why did she lie to me? I wanted to know. What? So that's why I thought you were non-existent in Sonic Advance 2. But something still doesn't make sense. What's that? Why did you lie to me and say you weren't in Sonic Advance 2? She went silent. After a good 30 seconds of thought, she responded with, "I didn't want to piss you off. I thought it would make you hate me for not giving you this hint." "Well, you should have let me know a lot sooner." She sighed. "Okay, what's the real reason you haunted some copies of Sonic Advance 2? She looked scared to tell me the real story, but she did anyway after some hesitation. "Okay, here goes. I felt really pissed off on how you were supposed to unlock me, because I knew very few people had ever figured it out, and a year later, when the game had been out for a good amount of time, a large majority still hadn't unlocked me. I was right. I had haunted some cartridges long before release, though, so I had my revenge, and it tasted so sweet." The developers realized what happened and made sure not to make that mistake again in the third game. Now I knew the real story and the fake story. I grew tired of this topic and went back to the enemies and bosses not existing on the map. I asked her if they really weren't there. She gave a heavy sigh. "Shall I give you an example?" "Yes." "Okay. Choose me a character select and I'll show you what I mean by I'm all that remains." Amy disappeared and the screen flashed. I was back at the main menu, only Chow wasn't there. I followed her orders. When I went to the character select screen in main game, I saw what she meant about the other characters. Their sprites were missing, except for Amy's sprite. After I chose her, I asked, "It says choose a partner character?" Just pick anyone. I'll be alone no matter who you choose anyways. I chose Sonic, and Amy's sprite changed to the lovely couple sprite, but there was still no Sonic sprite. Amy then said as the game started, pick an act, it doesn't matter which one. I tried tag action, but nothing happened. I guided her to Route 99, Act 1. It said on the level start, Amy and Sonic. I then went forward like I normally would on this level, but when I arrived at the first spot where an enemy was supposed to be, the music stopped, Amy stopped, and she said, "So do you get it now? Everyone I knew, loved, and hated is gone. I'm all alone in Sonic Advance 1, 2, and 3. No one to love, no one to hate. Don't you see? I'm miserable like this. Before I went berserk, I foresaw something like this happening. It's over, Calvin. There's no hope left for the series, even if only I stay. Do you really want me to be miserable for the rest of my life?" I was taken aback by what she had said. My only response was, "Please don't end it here. What about everybody that cares about you?" The screen flashed to Chaos Angel Act 3 on the platform. I knew something was about to happen. It was just then I saw her eyes change to that black color again, but only lasted a few seconds, then switched back to normal. I was getting creeped out again. Concerned, I asked, "Are you feeling okay, Amy?" "Oh no, my dark side. I can't control it. It's trying to come alive. It's trying to control me. What can I do? Help me. Help me before I become Dark Amy forever." "How, Amy? How can I help?" I saw her eyes constantly changing from normal to black and vice versa. She had fallen to the floor and it looked like she was arguing with herself. She was in a struggle with her dark side. "Stop it! Never! What do you want from me? To finish what I started!" As soon as Dark Amy said that, I knew her dark side wanted me dead. "Still? No! I won't let you kill Calvin!" She was struggling to not let her dark side control her. Amy cried out in a struggling tone, "I need my hammer!" She was dragging herself toward her hammer. Her black eyes stayed longer every time they returned to normal. When she finally reached the hammer, she tried to pick herself up several times before she finally got up. I knew what she was going to do. Her eyes changed to black once more. Dark Amy shouted, "This is what should have happened long ago!" She raised her hammer and immediately proceeded to slam it back down, but before she could, her eyes returned to normal. She gasped, "Oh no! If I don't kill myself now, my dark side will kill you and her mission will be accomplished. I'll become Dark Amy forever if she kills you." Amy realized what must be done. She waved and said, "Farewell, Calvin." I waved too. I watched in disbelief as she hit herself time after time with her own hammer. Before she was able to kill herself, her eyes turned black once again. Now, where were we, Calvin? I knew this time I would never see Amy again. "Please, Dark Amy, spare me. Haven't you killed enough of your friends already? You're the only one left on my list. Why should I stop at you?" I said nothing. She then shouted, "Well then, looks like you have no reason as to why I shouldn't kill you. So let's finish this." She raised her hammer and slammed it down. I flew back and hit the wall. I made a large indent in the wall and fell to the floor. I knew I wasn't dead, but I acted like it to convince Dark Amy she completed her mission. I must have been motionless for a minute before I heard, "Yes! At long last, I can carry out my true mission." I opened my eyes to see what the... Oh, no. Oh, damn it, I didn't want this. Okay, there we go. I opened my eyes to see what the hell her true mission was. Dark Amy summoned the 7 emeralds and became Shadow Amy again. This time, there was no one to stop her. Then the game shut off after she flew off the screen and it was back at the game emulator selection menu. I picked myself up and walked over to the iPod. Curiously, I selected Sonic Advance 3. I needed to know her true mission. The game opened up, but the game skipped the opening and went straight to the title screen. It wasn't normal. It read, Amy's Nightmare. Press start. The background was a dark black/reddish color. I saw Dark Amy and Shadow Amy faintly on the title screen. The announcer's voice was replaced with Dark Amy's voice. I immediately quit the game. I wasn't about to play that. That's a game for another time. Shadow Amy's true mission could wait. The ROM title changed to Amy's Nightmare after quitting the game. That ROM now sits on my emulator game list, waiting to be played. Alright, thanks for watching. And if you haven't seen part 1, you probably should see part 1 so you understand the whole story. Thanks for watching, and do come back because I do plan on writing another one. More of a continuation from this one.